What? Well, Willie gonna dance to everything though. Don't nothing have to be right. Willie just go groove with you. So Willie was in there too. You couldn't tell Willie he wasn't on Soul Train.
That's why he got I'm like, what is
Willie was in there. Oh my, y'all missed it. I started the camera too late. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you're listening to or you watching the intro podcast. I have the cast with me. Sitting right beside me is the one and only
Glennette.
I love how you throw up the douche, you show your age. And we have the one and only
Willie Beamen in the building.
Everybody, thank you guys once again for joining us. We're just gonna jump into a topic because like last week, Glennette decides she has to leave us. But before we get into that and before she leave, I wanted to have this discussion. I was listening to The Breakfast Club. Again, y'all know I talk about them every single week. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, and shout out to Just Hilarious. She is back from this birth.
Who?
Just Hilarious. Don't worry about it. You'll learn about it later on. Because you shaking your head like you know who she is. And you don't have a clue.
Oh my goodness. He's having a good time.
Oh, Jesus. I'm high. Okay. I am. I got good drugs in me. However, today we are talking about so in relationships, one thing that I can't say I've grown accustomed to because I just let them keep the ring. But there's
people you don't propose to.
I've been married 2 times. Yeah, that boy.
You just let them keep the ring.
Keep it. I mean, hey, you.
I mean, that's better than recycling it.
You work. Look, you work for this ring. You can have it. You put some work in. Anywho, highway. The discussion has always been in a breakup after you've proposed to whatever. Who keeps the ring? Well, according to the Economic Times, the topic of this particular editorial is who gets the engagement ring in the breakup. Court issues landmark ruling. Here's all you need to know. I'm gonna let you read it, Glennette, since you are the what's the word? The vocabulary is.
That would be fine if I could see. Anyway, so what you want me to read? The synopsis? So the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court has ruled that engagement rings must be returned to the person who originally purchased them, even when a breakup occurs. This new ruling overrules a 70-year-old law that tied ownership to the person deemed at fault in the relationship's end.
How do we feel about that?
Ooh.
Go ahead, see.
Go ahead,
see.
Being the only woman in the room.
That's okay.
As a matter of fact, yes, go ahead.
So let me tell you something. I personally if I'm breaking up with you, then I'm gonna give you your stuff back.
Okay.
Because I don't want it anyway.
Okay.
Now, but with that being said, if you're breaking up with me and you've proposed to me, maybe it was your mother's ring or your aunt's ring or your grandmother's ring, I'm gonna let you have it because that's a family thing. So I don't care how mad I am or whatever the case may be, you can have it. Now, if you haven't engaged yourself to me and I have proposed in front of my friends and my family,
yes,
and you have cheated on me, you have done me wrong, I don't care what the court say. They gonna have to catch me. Because I'm keeping the ring, I'm selling the ring, and I'm going on vacation.
That boy. I wonder what the law is here in Texas regarding that.
Ownership is 9/10 of the law.
Dang.
So it's mine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but the fact of the matter is, all jokes aside, if it's a split and we've just decided that, hey, this is not something that we're going to do, you know, there's no bad blood, no harsh feelings. Here, take your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, take it. I would suggest you take it back. Don't give it to somebody else, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't want it. You can keep it. But if you done did me dirty,
yeah, give me mine.
You're not getting that ring back.
Sheesh.
Being the only married man in the building, how you feel about this?
Give me my stuff. Give me my stuff, man.
Yeah.
No, I was reading an article last night, and I can't remember the couple's name, but I guess the guy who was offering the ring, I think it was like $70K, I believe. And I was reading it. I guess he found out that his soon-to-be wife was messing around, saw text messages and stuff like that, so he called everything off. And I guess they're going back and forth in court, and he was like, "Nah, I want my ring back."
Yeah.
See, but that's where you got to be smart, because just my personal opinion.
Let's go.
If I have found out that you're doing some dirt on me, which means that I can't trust you anyway, which means that I know you're not about to give me this ring back.
Yeah.
Baby, I want to take your ring and I want to get it
clean.
You know, I want to do something. I want to add a diamond to it. Get your ring. Be nice.
Yeah.
Get your ring. Then say, "Give me get out. Get your stuff. Get out my house." Hey, I got it now.
My question is though, what, in our own opinion, what does that ring symbolize? Because if I'm giving you this ring because I love you, and there's something about you that make me want to be this to you, because you done something wrong, does my love fade away for you?
Yep.
Damn.
It depends on what you've done.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you've done. There are things that will kill a person's love for you.
Okay.
If you have beat me, if you have cheated on me, those are deal breakers.
Okay.
For some people, they're not. But for me, it's a deal breaker. So, I mean, I don't want anything that's going to remind me of you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you, if you've done that to me and that ring is worth some money, $70,000,
That's what it was.
I'm going to sell it and I'm going to go on vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting it back. Because you shouldn't have did. You're right. You should have thought about that.
I'm with you on that.
But now, if it's just we've decided, hey, this is not going to work for me. I think we should just split and go our separate ways. I'm going to give you your stuff then.
Okay.
I'm going to give you your ring, your clothes, I'm going to give it back to you because I don't want no bad blood. Maybe one day we can be friends, acquaintances. It just wasn't meant to be.
For you. I have a question about that. Willie, whenever you proposed, what about your wife made you want to propose to her?
I would say her heart posture. I would definitely say her heart. Most people know that there is a height difference in our relationship.
No, I've never seen her.
Yeah, you'll meet her. Huh?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
And she's 6'1"?
6'3".
God damn.
Willie like climbing up that tree.
Climbing up trees.
I love it. You better climb that tree.
Climb the tree, my guy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, bro. So it was a heart matter, man. She didn't see me, for who I guess my stature. She wasn't really worried about that.
Yeah.
She just saw where I was going, and we just grew together, man. Of course, we had stuff we had to learn about each other in that season.
That's
early
anybody.
On. Yeah, that's anybody.
Yeah.
But no, she wasn't really concerned about stature, man. She's like,
very sweet.
Good dude, man.
Very
take care of his business.
Yeah.
And it was the same for her. And next, January 14th will be 12 years.
Baby, she loved her man.
She loved her man.
She loved her man. Yeah, I bet.
I need a bodyguard too, so let me see.
Speaking on play, man.
Whenever
she
we
love
go
her
places, we're gonna hire your wife to guard us. Who is the I guess the armor bearer for Dad that goes here?
Jane?
A police officer.
Oh, Stephanie?
I love her.
She's the head of security.
I freaking love
That's
love.
my best
I
friend.
freaking love her.
Hey.
She's a boss.
We've been friends for 25 years.
Wow, for real?
We've been friends for 4 months.
That's my girl.
Question before you go though. Are you able to be friends with? All right, let's say you were engaged to someone. The engagement didn't work out. Are we still able to be friends with that person?
It depends on why it didn't work out. And I would say, you talking about me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on why it didn't work out. I mean, if it didn't work out just because maybe we were moving in different directions, maybe we found out that we weren't vibing on the same level, then I have no problems with you. Now, we ain't gonna hang out, eat dinner, and go on vacation together.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem. I see you. Hey, how you doing? But now if you broke up with me because you just didn't want to marry me, and then it's gonna take me a minute, because if I'm
the grass was green on the other side.
Not even that, but maybe he didn't feel about me the way that I feel about him.
Yeah.
No, I can't be your friend right now.
Yeah.
Catch me in about 5-10 years.
Yeah. So in relationships, I've come to learn in my little short 43 years of life.
You are short.
And communication is one of the biggest things ever that will either make or break a relationship. Did you get into your marriage knowing how to communicate effectively, not listening at her, but listening to her?
I was horrible in the beginning, bro. My communication skills in the beginning was horrible because I really didn't see a healthy model of that. I was raised in a single parent home.
Yes.
It was me, my mother, and my sister who's 2 years younger than me. And then my mom and my pops got divorced when I was young. So I really didn't see a healthy marriage in my home. And so when me and Tamika got married at the age of 23, I'm trying to figure it out.
Right.
On the fly, man. I'm trying to find, people who I can relate to in other marriages and I can glean from to get advice and wisdom. And so now that took time, fam. It took a lot of time.
And it's hard to be something that you've never seen. Like if you don't have a healthy picture of a healthy relationship, you will get into DJ Envy wrote a book and he was with his wife. And for the first couple of years of their marriage, he couldn't please her sexually. Like she never had an orgasm. I don't see how she stayed. Gia, you're good for staying.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
But what he said was he didn't know what he was doing because what he was doing sexually was stuff that he got off of TV. What he got off of, just watching porn. I think in communication in relationships, if we don't have a healthy example or any kind of example of what to do, we base it off of what we see that's made up.
Thanks.
And we go into it thinking, oh, this is what it is because this is how it worked on the Tyler Perry play.
Right.
So because Tyler Perry said that this is what it is, this is what it is. It's different things for different people.
Right.
So how important, Glennette, for you is conversation, even before the engagement, just dating, getting to know, creating a safe space for him to be completely vulnerable and tell you the deepest, darkest fetishes or whatever, because a lot of times I come to find out that men want to talk about these things, but again, we've been put in a position to where some things are so taboo. Instead of us talking about it, we'll hide it, and then we'll live out that fantasy with another person. But then whenever the wife or the husband come around and they're like, well, I didn't know, well, you didn't provide that safe space for me to talk to you about it.
So let me say this, and I can literally say this from experience, because I have been married and divorced. And I grew up in toxic foster homes. I grew up watching toxic relationships. I grew up being in toxic relationships. And so one of the things that people do, especially in trauma-filled relationships, a lot of relationships that I was in were because we were co-traumators.
Trauma bonds.
Trauma bonds. We had, most of my relationships were trauma bonds. I can count on one hand, one finger, how many healthy relationships that I've been in. You see that? One hand, one finger.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I'm in my 50s that I ran across that.
Yeah.
And so what I've come to realize is that everything that I've seen, everything that I know about relationships, I do the opposite. If I'm talking to my male friend, I realize that I can't talk to other people about what he's talking to me about. Because it's a trust thing. Can he trust me with what he says without me? You have to learn how to fight fair. You have to learn that you can't let your emotions take control of you when you're in an argument, because you're not going to agree on everything.
Oh no.
Everything. And then I have to realize what's more important. Is me being right more important than his feelings? Is me having the last word more important than him feeling safe in our relationship? So that's how I had to learn. I do the exact opposite of everything that I've ever seen, everything that I think I know is true, and it's another thing of, what do you want out of relationship? Some people, I am a nurturer. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I am. I'm a giver. I love to make sure that the people that I love are happy, that they're comfortable. So I will go, and I have to work on that, because I will go out of my way, even emptying myself of everything to make sure that the people that I love are happy and comfortable.
People pleaser syndrome.
And that is a trauma. That's a trauma thing. Because I grew up where people would leave me at the drop of a hat. So, I grew up thinking that if I'm perfect, if I do everything right, if I make sure everybody around me is happy, they're not going to leave me. Which is not true
at all.
So I have to make sure that I have boundaries, but I have to make sure that I respect the person that I'm with, their boundaries, and I have to love them, not how I want to be loved, but how they need to be loved.
And the only way that you can do that is if you sit down and you have those
conversations. And you got to do a lot of healing. A lot of healing.
Speaking of the healing part, because it was so difficult, or you wasn't the best communicator, what allowed you to be able to have those conversations, or have the feeling to say, okay, because I know that you are going to be here forever, I can allow myself to slowly have these uncomfortable conversations, or just trust issues, like the whole 9 yards. What, as a man, what got you to that point to where you were able to say, okay, I can do this?
It really just started, Tamika is a person that she creates that safe space, like we've been talking about here in the past couple of moments. She's always been that person, man, to make sure that I have that space to be vulnerable, be transparent, without any rocks being thrown, without, judgment. That's the word. Any of that, coming toward me. So throughout our marriage, man, she's always given me that space to share. If I gotta cry, I'll
Yeah.
cry. If I gotta yell, if I gotta scream, if I don't understand, she allows me to get that out, man. And so that's one thing about, our marriage. And one thing that has allowed us to stand the test of time is our friendship.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I tell a lot of people, man, who are around my age group, or engaged or in their early years of marriage is you got to find ways to keep that friendship solid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has allowed us to be so strong in the years of marriage and, prior to that.
So what's the difference in friendship and relationship or marriage?
Glennette?
You just asked me that question, right? You know.
No, but it's not for me, but for people who are trying to get that understanding, because some people say I'm marrying my best friend.
Here's my personal opinion, because I'm not married yet.
Yet.
But what I think is that a lot of us, we are not friends first. Mm-hmm. We jump into these relationships, situationships, sexual ships, but we don't have friendships because friendships have got to be tested. A lot of times we meet somebody, we sleep with somebody, and now we with somebody. And we don't, I have to be able, I say Willie is my friend. Okay. And when I use friend, I really mean it, which means to me that it doesn't matter what he does besides betraying me. If you betray me, you're dead to me.
Damn.
Whew. Judas?
That one, yes.
Come on, Judas.
But say Willie can't do anything for me. He can't. I mean, he literally can't do anything for me. That doesn't change our friendship.
Yeah.
Some people, they're in, that's my friend, that's my homie. But when I can't do anything for you, when I can't make you bigger, make you famous, make you whatever it is, am I still your friend?
Yeah.
If I fall,
well, you still try to catch me, or you gonna let me just fall?
Are you gonna cover me?
Yeah.
Because that's what friends do. If he doing something, I'm gonna have his back.
Yeah.
But when we get back, Negro, you're wrong for that.
Yeah.
I'm the friend that's gonna hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And that's what friends do.
Yeah.
They hold you accountable.
Yeah.
They make you better. There are two ways with people that you hang with. Either you're gonna come down to their level, or they're going to pull you up to yours.
Yeah.
And before you kick me off the air,
Yeah,
I'm going to say, I know. I personally believe that you should never be the smartest person in your circle.
Ever.
I always
Right. Your friends should be able to challenge you, and you should never just have yes people in your circle.
Yeah.
Somebody should be able to pull your coattails and tell you no. And that's the difference between me, when friendships and other ships.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's really good.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. And the Bible says that real friends are born through adversity.
And you gotta be a friend to have a friend.
Everybody, this is your boy Tazz.
And Glennette.
Willie Beamen.
And this is the intro podcast. We'll be right back in just a second.
What's good, family? This is the one and only Willie Beamen, back in the building once again, man. We are back, y'all, for another fire segment, man. This is Sports Therapy with your host with the most, Willie Beamen, man. I got some juicy stuff, man. I got some good convo, man, in regards to this sports world for all my sports fans. So, as you guys see, I am rocking, a t-shirt jersey, Lamar Jackson, man, a.k.a. Action Jackson, man, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, man. Also was a quarterback for Louisville prior to getting to the league. But just want to kind of, talk about that previous game that they had. I believe it was last Thursday against the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's look into it. It says Lamar Jackson's tightrope scramble ignites Ravens comeback win over Bengals. And in his words, we came through. Yes, your boy came through, man. Lamar Jackson is having a heck of a season right now, man. He's on track to possibly have his third MVP, man. But I'm pretty sure in his mind, he wants that Super Bowl ring. Came up short, we all know, man. We watched the AFC championship last year, man, when they played the Chiefs. Yeah, and they were at home. And their defense was a whole lot better than their defense this year. You know, like offense is definitely a fire offense, but they've added another weapon. We all know. Shout out to Derrick Henry, man, who came from the Tennessee Titans. Now he's not the Derrick Henry of whole, but I feel like my boy still got some juice in the tank, man. Like watching the Baltimore Ravens, man, these last couple of games and how they're using Derrick Henry, man, and he's definitely been a lot explosive in the second half. You know, third quarter, fourth quarter player. But man, adding Derrick Henry has definitely, to me, has taken a load off of Lamar Jackson, because we know Lamar Jackson, man, he's a dynamic quarterback. He can throw, he can scramble, man. He has great field vision, man, for his receivers. And so, but let's get into what that game was about. Looking out of structure or even lost in their execution, the Baltimore Ravens offense sputtered for nearly 3 quarters. Basically what that means is for like the first, I guess, 3 quarters of the game, the Ravens wasn't looking too good. And I watched that game last Thursday too. They were down 14-0. Them boys are struggling. I don't know what was going on with them mentally, emotionally. I don't know what was going on with the coaching staff. I don't know what was going on with the defensive coordinator. But them boys, they were struggling, man, in that first half. Jackson scrambled 20 yards back from the line of scrimmage before dancing in, out and around would-be Bengals tacklers along the sideline for one of the most spectacular 10-yard runs you will ever see. On the ensuing play, Derrick Henry scored. The Ravens were on their way to scoring 20 straight points to a key thrilling 35-34 comeback win over the Bengals on Thursday night. This is Lamar Jackson's words. Just trying to make something happen. That's all it was. Jackson said of the scramble that came with the Ravens trailing 21-7 and igniting a Ravens rally. I was going to try to throw the ball away, but when I turned, I just had room, so it was like I just get as much yards as I could. I should have scored. That's what he said at the end, I quote. So keep going. In a game overthrown with highlights and statistical splendor on both sides. Because don't get me wrong, man. You know, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have been balling, but shout out to Joe Burrow and the Bengals, man. Shout out to Jamar Chase, who's one of the receivers over there, man. Joe Burrow's a dog as well. They always putting up a dog fight. But let's look at some of the stats, man. Jackson completed 35 of 33 passes for 290 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a sterling 141.4 passer rating. He added 32 yards on even 7 carries. It was how he rebounded from the lackluster first half. Remember I mentioned that, with an extraordinary second half that was truly remarkable. So, like I mentioned, man, them boys struggled. They struggled in that first half, man. But somehow, some way, we already know, man, that Lamar Jackson, a.k.a. Action Jackson, always finds a way to get the job done, man. Now, here's something I want to kind of hit on in sports world. Y'all sports heads, man, y'all let me know what y'all take. I remember watching probably last week, I think it was Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. talking about, can Lamar Jackson continue to lead the way even though the defense is not where it's supposed to be? I believe that's what the question was. And in my mind, I don't believe so. I believe the defensive coordinator, I can't remember his name, they have to find better ways, man, to make sure that they're efficient. Making sure that they're stopping these high-powered offense. Because if they come across the Kansas City Chiefs again in the AFC Championship, man, I don't believe Lamar Jackson will have the ability to carry them. Yeah, they have a great offensive powerhouse. They got Derrick Henry, they got Zay Flowers, they got Humphreys, I believe. They got some weapons, man, on the offensive side. They defense need to step up, man, and they don't have the ability to be trading blow for blow with the Kansas City Chiefs, man, who are undefeated right now in the AFC, man. Them boys are 9-0. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, man. Shout out to Kelsey. They just added DeAndre Hopkins, man. So I just believe, man, they gotta make some changes, man, on the defensive end if they really want to knock out the Kansas City Chiefs, because that's been their kryptonite. They were at home last year. They had one of the best records. They had one of the best defenses. But when Pat Mahomes came, man, and them boys came to their home, they put them boys on the couch, man. Put them boys fishing on their own couch, man. So hopefully, man, I don't just want to see Lamar Jackson, man, get an MVP. I want my boy and his squad, man, to get over the hump this season. I'm rooting for y'all, man. I'm rooting for you, Lamar Jackson, man. Hopefully you guys can make some adjustments to get over the hump, man, and get a Super Bowl. And going back to the defense, as I make a shift to my next topic, I haven't seen a high-powered Ravens defense since we all know the Ray Lewis days. If anybody watched football, everybody know who Ray Lewis is, man. He's probably one of the most powerful, dynamic linebackers of all time, man, in NFL history. That boy was a dog. Y'all go watch some of Ray Lewis's highlights, man. He didn't play with you. He talked noise, but he also backed it up, man. Ray Lewis was definitely one of those guys that will put you on your feet. Put you on your feet, man. Him and Ed Reed, man, with that Ravens defense back in, I want to say, the early, mid-2000s. But hopefully, the defense that they have now with the Baltimore Ravens, man, can make some changes so they can get over the hump. And my boy Lamar Jackson, man, can get his first Super Bowl ring. So we rooting for you, my boy. We rooting for you. Let's make a pivot on to my next topic. I definitely want to talk about this, man. We're going to transition to the NBA world because that's my baby. You know, that's where I watch the most of, but I love sports in general. But let's kind of talk about these Golden State Warriors, man. Let's talk about these Warriors, man. Shout out to what they are doing right now. I believe their record is 8-2, I believe, 9-2, somewhere around there. And the one thing I'm most surprised about is I didn't think they would be as effective considering Klay Thompson had left the Warriors. You know, we had free agency here in the offseason. You know, when there's big players, you know, who has longevity, who has the skill set, who's put the work in. They searching, they testing the waters, man. They trying to see what team is a better fit for them, for their family, the city, all these different elements, man, when it comes to the NBA. They trying to figure it out, and us in the basketball world, we could see that Klay Thompson, man, was not happy, you know, in his latter season, man, playing with the Golden State Warriors. You can just see some of the games. You can see his demeanor, man. He was definitely not excited, you know, enthusiastic to be on the court. No disrespect to his bros, you know, Draymond Green and Steph and all the other guys. Shout out to the coach, Steve Kerr. No shade to them. We just saw, man, different demeanor from Klay, and he wasn't himself in the latter part of his career, man. But he definitely helped the Warriors, man, in that championship run, man. Those guys are brothers, and I believe they will always be brothers. I'm mentioning Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. I believe that they will always be brothers, man. They will always be family. Them boys, you know, got it out the mud together. And going back even to the coaching point of this, I think a lot of us don't give credit when credit is due, because when these guys were drafted to the Golden State Warriors, the coach at the time was Mark Jackson. And I believe a lot of us, man, don't give credit to Mark Jackson, man, for building that foundation and allowing the Warriors to have this dynasty that they had over these past couple of years, man. No knock to Steve Kerr, man. No knock to Kerr. He's a great player. He's a great coach, man. We know him in those 90 days playing with Michael Jordan with the Bulls, playing with the Spurs. We know he's a great player, and he's, you know, paved his way to be a great coach. But I still want to give flowers, man, what flowers do, man, to my guy Mark Jackson, man. And hopefully one day he gets a coaching opportunity, man. I don't know if that's something that he wants to do. I know he's been in the media world and still giving his 2 cents on, you know, teams and coaching and all of that. But hopefully, man, they can give Mark Jackson an opportunity, man. But let's kind of dive in. Steph Curry, you know, here recently, I think it was a couple days ago, the Warriors and the Mavericks played. And like I just mentioned, Klay Thompson got traded, you know, to the Mavericks, man, to start a new leaf, to turn over a new leaf, man, and to start a new chapter. But let's look into this game. Steph Curry scored the final 12 points for the Warriors to will them to a 121-17 victory over Klay Thompson and the Dallas Mavericks at Chase Center on Tuesday. Curry's 28-foot step-back three-pointer with 27.5 seconds left gave the Warriors a 4-point lead, and his game-sealing free throws capped the season-high 37 points outing. In his return to the Bay, Thompson tied a season high with 22 points and 6 3-pointers. In addition to Thompson's return, Tuesday's game carried extra significance, being the opener for the Emirates NBA Cup. The win put the Warriors atop of the West Group C standings and gives them a point differential of +3. Let's look at some more of this. Let's see. Let's go a little deeper. So, like I mentioned, Klay Thompson was traded, and I remember watching Steph Curry's post-interview after the game, after they beat the Mavericks, and he was talking about, you know, his relationship with Klay Thompson. Even in the offseason, talk about the relationship that those guys had. And we already know them to be the Splash Brothers. Those two guys, man, are two of the greatest shooters we've ever seen, man, in NBA. Of course, we probably can argue it. You know, we got the Reggie Millers of the world, man. We got the Ray Allens of the world who were dynamic three-point shooters. But they all had different styles. But I still believe they will still go down as two of the greatest shooters in NBA history, man. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, man, a.k.a. The Splash Brothers. So I want to kind of get into the tribute video that they had for Klay Thompson, man. I watched it yesterday, last night, and I even got emotional. I got emotional watching it, man. You know, I felt like I was a fan. I felt like I was in the bleachers just watching it, man, and them giving Klay Thompson, you know, his credit, man, because he was a part of that dynasty, bringing forth championships there. And so let's get into that. Klay Thompson poured in 13 years of legendary moments with the Warriors organization, and Tuesday was his first game back at Chase Center since his departure to the Mavericks. Making his way to the visiting locker room for the first time, Thompson was greeted by hundreds of Warriors employees wearing captain hats. That was one of his nicknames, Captain Klay. The employees tipped their caps as he entered and cheered. When Thompson came out for warm-ups, there were more cheers from Dub Nation, whom also donned the hats that were given upon entering the arena. Right before tip-off, the Warriors shared their tribute video for the four-time champion, which prompted a standing ovation, and Thompson acknowledged the crowd with smiles and waves, man. Yeah, I think that was definitely something that was probably memorable to him. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of emotion even for him in watching that tribute video, soaking it all in, taking it all in, seeing the fans taking it all in with him, seeing his brothers on the other squad from the Warriors taking it all in, man, just as a community, man. I'm pretty sure that was something that he'll always cherish, man. So shout out to Klay Thompson. And as I put a wrap on this, I kind of want to talk about their relationship between Steph Curry, Klay, and Draymond. They were the core of the Warriors. You know, you had the other added pieces that played with them, Andre Iguodala throughout the years, Harrison Barnes throughout the years. You got Andrew Wiggins, who's coming up right now. You got Kuminga with the Warriors, who's a young dog that's coming up right now. You got Gary Payton Jr., Gary Payton's son, who was a dog that's playing well with the Warriors right now. So none of us expected the Warriors to be on track the way they are now. But let's talk about their relationship. In the first game against his Splash brother, Steph Curry, fittingly took the defensive assignment against Thompson. Now, mind you, that's a mismatch. We know Klay Thompson is probably about, I would say, 6'8". You know, Steph Curry is probably around 6'1", 6'2"-ish. But Steph Curry wasn't going to have it, man. He wasn't going to allow them to come to to the Warriors arena, man, and take a defeat. Thompson, feeding off the energy in the building, took Curry straight into the post for the first possession, drawing a foul. Curry was quick to respond, draining a three-pointer over his outstretched arms and pointing at him with both hands, smiling. Draymond Green got into the act a couple minutes later with a three over Thompson from the right corner. Thompson got going in the second quarter, hitting back-to-back threes to extend the Mavericks' 16-2 run. However, Curry went again, responding with a crafty and one-hand layup over Thompson and stared him down. These three competitors have done so much winning together in this league, and their competitive juices flowed throughout their first head-to-head NBA matchup, man. So if y'all haven't seen the highlights, man, go watch the highlights. That was a heck of a game, man. Curry putting it out on the line, Klay putting it out on the line. Brothers who grew up playing with the Warriors together, man, got drafted, you know, to an amazing franchise, man. Now they're opposing, you know, enemies on the court. I'm pretty sure they still brothers and, you know, rocking and rolling off the court, man. But shout out to what they're doing, man. Shout out to Klay Thompson, bro. I pray that you have a successful career, you know, with the Mavericks. From what I'm looking at, man, it seems like you're happy. Seems like you're getting your joy back. Seems like you're getting your flow back. Seems like you're getting your rhythm back, man. So I just hope and pray that the Mavericks use you the way they need to use you, man. And you guys can potentially get back to the NBA Finals, man, because they came up short, we all know, last year to the Boston Celtics. And even for the Warriors, none of us expected the Warriors, man, to be doing what they're doing right now. We thought that there would be a deficit of them taking the back seat because of the loss of Klay Thompson. But them boys balling, man. They got a young group of guys over there. They got veteran experience from Steph Curry and Draymond Green, man, who know what to do, who know what it takes to win, who has a winning mentality. And so, yeah, man, that's my TED Talk. This is Sports Therapy with Willie Beamen, man. We are closing it out, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and of course, you are listening to or watching the Intro Podcast. And I have the one and only, the sis, the wife, the homie, the partner, the one and only
Glennette.
Have you ever been? Wait, you singing?
Am I singing?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't sing.
No, but you were singing just now.
No, I was humming. I got kicked out the church choir.
What happened?
Pastor Blair told me to sit down 20 years ago.
And you never got back up.
Never got back
Pastor
up.
Blair, I want to thank you with everything in my spirit. And Glennette, thank you for listening to him in your spirit and your physical.
Yeah, I sounded like a cat in heat.
Can we have a taste of it right fast?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God, Pastor Blair, I'm gonna have you on the show so that you can talk about that 20-year ago experience with Glennette. Speaking of the Blairs, you got something that's about to pop off real soon.
I do.
With the one and only Zion.
Zion. Hey, Zion Christopher.
So what's going on with you and Zion?
So Zion has, he's amazing on his own. He comes from a very talented family, but on his own, he is amazing. He is an amazing singer, an amazing theater kid, you know? So he has taken on the audacious, I like
daring.
that word. Yes. He is helping me turn my book into a stage play. So coming 2025, Some Hurts Are Beyond Tears, the stage play.
So, of course, we're going to talk about it whenever we get closer to the play. Do me a favor, turn the face to me just a little bit so we can have some dialogue about this play. How do, right now, because you're not in the hull of doing it, how do you think you're going to feel? Because if I can think back just whenever you were doing the audiobook, you was getting emotional crying.
I know.
In which we do need to finish that, by the way. How do you expect to feel even in the casting or just seeing the progression of how this play goes? Because this is a very emotional play.
Yes, because it is so close to my heart.
Yeah. Because
it is based on real live events, things that happen. I don't know. I want to say, you know, I can distance myself from it, but to see it is one thing, to read it, but to see it like happening again on a stage, I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Because you're literally putting your real life out for people to see.
Right.
The good, the bad, the ugly, the pain, and things like that. What made you? What gave you the ambition to want to do this?
To the stage play?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a theater kid myself.
Okay.
And one of the things that was a coping mechanism to me.
I know you love your job and everything, but can you take that off?
Oh.
Right. And I'm not starting over. We just going.
Oh.
she been working.
I'm sorry. I got here from
She loved that 9 to 5. I don't blame you, girl, because I need a loan anyway.
Listen,
I don't have no money.
Okay, well, let's go. And he's not going to start it over, y'all.
I'm really not.
It's okay. Anyway, one of the things that I said that I wanted to see when I wrote the book is I wanted in book form. I wanted it on a stage, and then I wanted it on a theater screen.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Yeah. And this is how many years ago?
How many years ago?
Whenever you had the vision to see it on all of this.
Probably when I first started wanting to write about it, which has got to be probably 15 years.
Oh, wow.
It's been about 15 years.
Yeah.
I wrote the book in 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been almost 10 years for the book.
Wow.
And I just think that it's something that people can connect with.
Yeah.
And see and realize that we go through things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define who we are. and that we can take the things that have tried to break us and turn it into something else.
Something to make us better.
Right, and I just believe that God doesn't allow us to go through so many heartbreaking things just for nothing.
Right. So in the perfect world, if you could pick one superstar actress in the entire world, who would play Glennette?
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah! Come on. Why Jennifer Hudson?
Well, number one, I love her.
Okay.
Number two, she has that sass attitude,
Yeah.
And number three, she knows what trauma is.
Yeah.
She's gone through some major horrific things, and I just think that she would be able to channel that energy into my life.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of it in whatever way we are able to. Some big things is really about to happen really, really soon.
Yeah.
Y'all do me a favor. Y'all know me. I'm not gonna edit this, but Willie is calling. We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you are listening to or watching the Intro Podcast. I'm joined with the one and only
Willie Beamen. What's good, family? What's going on?
Everything is everything, man. Thank y'all for coming back to this segment of the show where, hey, I call this Brother Talk. I'm just going to give it a name. This is Brother Talk. Man, what's going on?
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling. I've been going through it, but I'm feeling.
Hey, you still here, brother.
I'm still here.
You're still breathing. You're still moving and shaking. Hey, one day at a time. That's what they always tell me.
One thing, I forgot who it was that preached the message recently at the church, but the bulk of the message was, I went through it, but I survived.
Probably Pops.
Probably Pops, man. And that's where I am now. I've gone through it again, but I survived, and I'm just excited to be able to say that I survived, because I know a lot of people. For those of you who are watching or listening that don't know what happened, the 26th of last month, I experienced being the victim of a hate crime here in Dallas, and I know a lot of people who have went through those situations, and a lot of them didn't make it out. I've seen news where a lot of people from the community were actually beat to where they literally died.
Yeah.
So whenever I look at that and I look at where I am now, regardless to what I feel pain-wise or whatever, at least I'm able to feel pain.
Wow.
I was talking to Dad one day after Bible study, and he was explaining to me, he said, as long as you can feel it, you good, because that means you're still alive.
Ooh, that's heavy, bro.
That simplified everything for me. I was like, I'm good.
That's heavy.
Like, so, I'm dealing with it, and God is, doing what he's doing in regards to the situation, whether it be to the offenders that done what they did to me, or even just what he's doing in me through it. Because I was a very busybody type person. Like, I moved around a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that in being that busybody person, although I'm working to accomplish a goal, in being a busybody, you miss the voice of God a lot, because you're so worried about hearing what everything else is saying that is pertaining to your life for now, that you miss what God is trying to tell you while you're going through this, because you're supposed to be on bed rest.
Wow.
You're supposed to be still. It's like God is saying, I literally set you down for a reason, but instead of you sitting down, you still trying to do you.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit mine down somewhere. And through that, he's not only teaching me or talking to me about the spiritual side of things, but he's also showing me things regarding regarding the podcast. He's showing me things regarding my music. He's showing me things regarding the business in general, that where if I didn't sit down and I wasn't still, I'd still be stuck in the funk that I was in October 1st, still trying to learn things. But because I'm in a point to where now I can't do anything, I have no other option but to
Wow.
learn.
Wow.
So
That's good.
but yeah, man, how's the family?
Everybody's good, man. Everybody is good. Taking it one day at a time, man. Did some stuff for my mother earlier today, trying to get Granny's headstone and stuff like that in place. Make sure all that is done and well. But other than that, man, family's good. We're just making sure that we continue her legacy, man.
Yeah.
Coming together as a family, spending time with one another, the laughs, the jokes, and just reminiscing on things that she embedded in us, man. And so, and trying to keep that house in the legacy, man.
Yeah.
She's been in the house for Lord knows how long.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah, we good, fam.
I know about that legacy house, as I call it, because our legacy house is still standing in Mississippi.
Wow.
It's a nice house. It's funny because whenever I was younger, say like 5, 6, 7 years old, I grew up practically poor or whatever, but living in Mississippi, we grew up in a house that was made out of tin. We had tin roof. It was a little, it was safe enough. You had your own, your insulation, all of the stuff.
Right.
But there was literally like this house, the frame was tin. And I look at through, I want to say, even after Hurricane Rita, Katrina, and all these things.
Yeah.
Any storm before then, I looked at how this tin house still stood.
Wow.
And then I look at some of these roof and everything, never blown off.
Yeah.
But then I look at some of these houses and apartments and buildings now, where if that same storm would come now, they wouldn't last. So I often ask my grandmother before she passed, what did y'all put in this little itty bitty old shack of a house that made it stand so long?
Wow.
And she could never answer that for the likes of me, but our legacy house is still up on the hill, fully furnished.
Wow.
For every single room is furnished. They finally got a satellite. Thank God, because I got tired of watching Beethoven.
I got a question though. So I follow a guy, spiritual leader, business leader, Dr. Darius Daniels, Change Church out in Atlanta and New Jersey. And
Okay.
He's from, I believe, what is the city called? Michael, Mississippi.
Oh, Lord.
Have you heard of that?
I ever heard of it, but it sounded small as mine, though. Our nearest Walmart so I was born in Macomb, Mississippi, but we lived in Liberty, Mississippi.
Okay.
Our closest Walmart, the only Walmart, the closest Walmart was like 30, 35 minutes
My
away.
goodness.
Oh, no. But the closest movie theater was 45 minutes away.
Ooh.
And this is not one of those places where you want to be found out after dark. And you might go. Because like I remember growing up where like we used to I've literally been through the having dogs chase you type situation.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's that kind of Mississippi.
Whew.
So imagine when I tell you I don't rush to go back for nothing. The last time I went was for my mother's homegoing ceremony, and that
Right.
was probably about 5 years ago.
Wow.
I have no intentions on going back.
Oh, no.
Because all you do there, in order for our age group to have anything for entertainment, we would have to drive an hour to go to New Orleans.
Wow.
And then after you party in New Orleans, you ain't trying to drive back that same night.
You ain't driving back.
At all. But it's good for the person that just want to retire and just unplug from reality.
That's what I hear a lot.
Because again, no cell phones. Your cell phone is not gonna work if you don't have satellite. You're gonna be watching Able. So it's like unplugging from the world. That is the place to go.
That's funny.
But on today's show, man, I cannot wait for our deep dive because we are talking about generational wealth. Man, I thank you for bringing that topic up because it's really big now especially because of the direction that we are going in now with our new president and the things that he's setting in order.
Right.
I was watching, I'm really, really big on MSNBC, watching and listening to a lot of that stuff. So whenever we come back, We have one topic, and then we'll dive directly into that. I am excited to have Willie Beamen on the show today.
Yes,
man, who are you talking about on your segment today for sports therapy?
Sports therapy, man. Y'all be on the lookout. I'm talking about my brother, who I've followed so long, man. Steph Curry, man. He's one of the most skilled basketball players, one of the greatest shooters of all time, man. He's just that dude, man, even in his years of playing now, man. I believe he's 35, 36. And kind of want to talk about that story, the dynamic of even one of the other, well, we know, Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson, who got traded to the Dallas Mavericks, man, and all the behind the scenes. And, they just played, each other a couple of days ago. So it's many layers, man, when it comes to the Warriors franchise. But on the flip side of that, y'all see the shirt, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, that's another story I want to talk about, man, and what he's doing with the Baltimore Ravens and what they have the potential to do.
Just Hilarious would love you right now.
I know. She from B-More, ain't she?
She would love you for that shirt right now. Again, shout out to Jess on your the birth, the healthy birth of your baby girl, and for your what's the word? Your healthy birth also, because we know that the mortality rate for black sisters having babies, is not always the best. Yeah. So God covered you on that. As a matter of fact, let me go on and rant about Just Hilarious right fast. God has been bragging on you since they chose you to be this third guest on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Like right after she got chosen for that, it seemed like God just started lining things up for her, as if this is her ordained time for everything that she's getting.
Wow!
And it's amazing how whenever you are in that part of your life where it's your time, there's nothing that no one can do.
Oh no, absolutely,
to take it from you. Because I know there were a lot of people. I listened to the Breakfast Club for that whole entire year, where they were bringing in different guests who were probably better or probably more qualified.
Right.
But because I guess it's just her time, God said, I'm going to let all these people pass by, get all the accolades and everything. But because I want to brag on you, because something is about to happen with you and in you that's more my favor is going to work in your life. So I'm just waiting for them now to announce whenever she get engaged, because
yeah, I love Just Hilarious.
It's time to get married, girl. Chris, it's time to get married. Propose to my sister. This is your boy Tazz
and Willie Beamen.
We'll be right back with the intro podcast.